Okay, so welcome to the Aquila Clouds webinar on Cloud FinOps. It is our pleasure to have you attend this session today. My name is Desmond Chan. I'm the CPO and co-founder of Aquila Clouds, and I will be your presenter today. Some bookkeeping items. If you have any questions, please feel free to enter them in the chat window. We'll get to them as soon as we start the Q&A session. So first of all, let me introduce Aquila Clouds to you. At Aquila Clouds, we have a mission to provide you with a cloud finance management platform for the current era. Our platform is SaaS-based, and we provide full governance on and visibility into your cloud deployment. We enable the paradigm of continuous monitoring and continuous optimization, CMCO, using our analytics, intelligence, and automation capabilities. You will see in our session today how we automate the cloud management tasks in the area of FinOps. So now let's look at our agenda for today. I'm quite sure that you are all aware of cloud waste in your organization, and that's probably why you're attending this webinar. Let's talk about the extent of cloud waste in today's enterprise. Then we will talk about the common cloud cost optimization strategies. You can leverage these strategies in your own organization. In order to implement these strategies, you will need to get detailed visibility into your cloud deployments and be able to implement the actions feasibly. And are the cloud providers giving you all of these capabilities? And well, the answer is no. The question whether we can do better comes to mind. How can we do better? We'll let you know today. Then we'll open up for a quick survey. Please pay attention to the chat room and we'll provide you with the link. Okay, let's get started. So again, cloud waste is real. We talked to a senior cloud infrastructure engineer at a streaming media company. He mentioned that they discovered unattached volumes. In other words, wasted storage were costing them more than $400,000 per month. This is very significant for just one organization. IDC reports in 2020 that there are $69.5 billion spent on cloud IT infrastructure. Big proportion of the spend is going into waste. An industry report says 40% of the instances are sized at least one size larger than needed. Non-production resources are idle 76% of the time. And as a result, on average, around 35% of cloud spend goes to waste. And to remediate the situation, there are some common strategies that you can employ. One is right-sizing your instances. And to right-size your instances, you need to figure out the resource utilization trends of your instances and decide what instance type is the best for your workload. Some cloud providers will give you this information, but you will still need to implement them yourself. And you can try to shut down the idle instances. Again, first of all, you will have to figure out which instances are idle and so that you can shut them down. You will be surprised by how many of these instances you have lying around in your organization. Thirdly, you can right-size your storage volumes. Like you can figure out what is the IOPS needed for your volumes, or like you can just even find out the just what is the correct shear size of the volumes, and all of these can help shrink your bill. You can also try to like remove the unattached volumes and snapshots, and yeah, and these are unattached volumes and snapshots are just sitting there and wasting your money. And the key here is to make sure that you find them out. You figure out all of the optimization opportunities. And then lastly, but not least, you can leverage the reservations and like savings plans and spot instances so that you don't have to like always pay the on-demand pricing. And again, this will take some analysis. Some cloud providers will give you some suggestions, but you will still have to make the analysis yourself, holistically, and you have to make the final call. So as I said, cloud providers may be providing the visibility of cloud usage and some optimization strategies to you, and yet does it suffice? The answer is no. The cloud providers do not provide you with automation to implement the recommendations. For example, right-sizing an instance can take a significant amount of work for the cloud ops staff. Cloud cost optimization is not just about saving cost in the cloud, but it's also about saving your labor costs. Your OpEx can significantly drop if you have an automated or policy-driven action on a cloud management platform. And the cloud providers, they don't offer you an automated schedule to start up or shut down your instances. And again, as the statistics that we showed just now, non-production instances are idle 76% of the time, and you can save 76% of your cost on non-production instances if you can start them up only when needed. And like the cloud providers also give you the capability to auto scale your clusters of workloads. And you would think that this would actually suffice, but there are other things that you can do because there are still limitations. We'll talk about this topic later in the session. And then cloud providers, they do not help you manage your applications and services such as Kubernetes. I'm sure that in your organization, containers and Kubernetes are heavily used, and you want to know how much you're spending on each of the Kubernetes cluster, namespace, and pods, so that you can figure out your ROIs for your projects on these, the microservices-based projects, right? Okay, and then the cloud providers, they also give you facilities to group resources together for reporting and budgeting purposes, but they only stay within their own cloud. So you can group, some instances and some like storage volumes or like some bandwidth usage together, and then just like call it a project. But many of these projects actually span multiple clouds these days for many organizations. So how are you going to deal with that? And then the grouping should not just be on the level of the resources that are provided by the cloud providers. Like it should just go into the applications and services. Like I said, like the Kubernetes cluster, namespace and pods, or like any of the computing pipelines in your data science pipelines and whatnot. So all of these should be taken into account on a very granular level, so that you can like precisely calculate your budgets and for your chargeback and whatnot. And lastly, on the point of like multi-cloud, right? Don't you want to know whether you will save if you move to another cloud? You will want to know the Intercloud cost comparison, but the cloud providers won't give that to you. They will want you to be locked down with them forever. Yeah, can you do better? Yes, like the answer is definitely yes. With a cloud management platform like Aquila Clouds FinOps, you can do better, and we will give you some examples. So Aquila Clouds FinOps is a solution that is hosted on the cloud. It's a SaaS platform for finance, for cloud finance cloud finance management. We provide you with automation and schedules, governance, and Kubernetes management as well. So like I said, like even with all the recommendations shown by the cloud providers, without automation, you will still have to spend a lot of resources, like human resources, to figure out what to do, and then and perform and implement the recommendations. With the Aquila Clouds, we'll give you all of the information that you need for right sizing, the different instance types that we suggest that you have. And sorry, somebody just joined. If we can mute, that would be great. Okay. Yeah. So we give you all these information so that you can pick the right instance type, and then more importantly, it's about automation. Like I said, the cloud providers, they do not provide you with the automation that you need, and with us, what you can do is you have a click of a button implementation, or you can actually have some policy that tells us, hey, if you for all of the unattached volumes, we can just use a policy to delete all of them and whatnot. So all of these will save IT professionals time and energy, and again, your OpEx will be so much lower if you have automation. And I mentioned the 76% of idle time for the non-production environments or the instances. Like, what do you do with them? I mean, like, if you don't have a schedule to start them up and shut them down at the right time, you cannot simply just shut them down, right? Because they are still serving purposes, at certain times. So you need to implement a schedule, right? And to implement such a schedule for one instance is easy. You can just figure out, study that instance and figure out when you need it to be up or down. But but if you are going to scale it up to hundreds or thousands of instances, how are you going to do that? And then you have to study all of them to make sure that you understand their usage pattern ahead of time. So with Aquila Clouds, we study all of your instances, know their usage patterns, and then we make recommendations to you so that you can easily just apply that recommendation on your schedule. And then we will schedule the start and shutdown for you according to what you choose at the end. So this is another automation that will save you 76% of your cost on the non-production environments. And yeah, we talked about auto scaling group. Like, the cloud providers provide you with auto scaling groups. You have a maximum size that you want to scale up to. You have a minimum size. You have a desired capacity. The cloud providers, like, this is a very good facility for auto scaling. But there are further optimizations that you can do. With a lot of our customers, what they have requested is that like all of the max size, min size, desired capacity, they can be configured. And they want to have a different configuration at different times of the week. For example, it really depends on the business demand. But let's say that they have less demand on or like no demand on Mondays because their shops just do not open, or like or it's just some policy, right? According to their business demand. So they ask us to give them a facility to schedule the configuration change on a certain day at a certain time slot. And so we give them all of the hours within a week, and then they can schedule the maximum and minimum size according to their need. We will also provide them with recommendations on like what we think that they would need according to the utilization of their of all these auto scaling group members. Okay. Okay, Kubernetes. Kubernetes is not a native technology in all of these clouds. The cloud providers, they may provide some services like ECS, EKS, like AKS, and GKS, and whatnot, right? But do they actually give you all of the information about how, like, when a cluster like Kubernetes cluster is used, when a pod is being used and whatnot? The answer is no. And how do you know, like, in this world of microservices, each project is represented by by either one or more microservices. How are you going to break down the cost for each of them? And also, how are you going to optimize without knowing that, without knowing how your pods are being utilized? So, at Aquila Clouds, we provide you with all these information, the utilization trends, and the cost breakdown from, at different levels, so that you can make the most, the best decision for sizing and whatnot. So all of these, like we give you recommendations for the host VM sizes, which means like right sizing for your host VMs, and also like we tell you for each of the containers, which what are the reservations on CPUs and memories that we think is appropriate for that container. So at the end, you get a much efficient environment of your containers, of your for your microservices. Okay. And yeah, for financial governance, like, what do you need to do, right? Like, in a large organization, you need to do chargeback. You want to know how much you're spending on a certain project or in a certain department. And then also, like, you want to implement some sort of budget for each of these projects. So the cloud providers, they would give you some facility to do this, like I said, but they're all within their own cloud. Like these days, you tend to go across clouds, so you need a facility to help you group the elements across different clouds. And then, like I said, right, like for Kubernetes, for example, like if you want to know the cost for your for one of your Kubernetes services, the pods, we'll be able to do that for you, but none of the cloud providers would be able to go into that sort of granularity. So these are all these are all the value adds that we have on top of, like, what the cloud providers can provide to you in their like whatever, like Cost Explorer or like Cloud Advisor and whatnot. So again, like, we are really about automation, and we are really about like giving you the capability to look deeper into your cloud deployments, not just on a single cloud, but multi-clouds and on the application service level as well. And I mentioned, right, on the topic of like multiple clouds, we need Intercloud cost comparison. These days, like, there's so many clouds out there, like AWS, Azure, GCP, Oracle, and then DigitalOcean, right? Like different workloads may have different characteristics, and they may actually behave differently on the on cost as well in different clouds. So we give you the cost comparison across all these clouds, taking into account of your footprint. So like at any given time, you'll be able to know how cost efficient you are on a certain cloud, and then if you plan to move on to the next cloud, will that be cost efficient, and then would that be like performance even? Like, we'll give you all these information. And later on, like, our vision is such that, like, if you want to switch to another cloud, like, we'll give you all the facilities so that you can migrate very, very easily on our platform. Okay, so without further ado, that, like, we would like to get into some sort of interaction with the audience. After hearing all these facilities or like features that we have in Aquila Clouds, I would like to ask you, like, what resonates the most with you? So let me just like there's a survey here, and then I will also put that in the chat window. Sorry, let me just. Okay, so now you should have it in your chat window, and then you can just fill out the survey, and then we'll tally that and send the result to you later. Okay. So we'll give people a few more minutes so that they can finish the survey. Okay, so now let's move on. So we are providing a free assessment for your cloud environment, so that you can be in the know for whether or not you can optimize your cloud spending. So if you would like to join this assessment, free assessment, please let us know. You can reach out to me, Desmond@aquilaclouds.com, or reach out to our sales team, sales@aquilaclouds.com. And again, this is all free. We will just provide you with a free assessment so that you know how your cloud is faring in terms of cost savings. Okay. All right. I'll open up for Q&A right now. If there's any question, please feel free to put in the chat window. So there's one question. They're asking whether we allow for volume lifecycle management. So that is also something that that will mean a lot to FinOps, meaning that for your volumes, if you would like to place them to a less expensive tier when they're less used, and then just keep on going from like EBS to perhaps AS3 to perhaps like Glacier. So we do have that in our roadmap. Right now, we we do not have the feature ready, but all of these lifecycle management, on the volume level, or even on like the instance level, we have them on our roadmap. So if you're interested, please engage with us. We will be able to tell you more about our roadmap when we talk one-on-one. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's a pleasure to have talked to you. So let's keep in touch. Please just come to our website, aquilaclouds.com. And again, you can reach out to me, Desmond@aquilaclouds.com, or sales@aquilaclouds.com. And there are like some social handles that we are showing here. We're very active on social media. So if you would like to interact with us on social media, you can just come to Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. We have our we have a presence there, and you can feel free to message us there however way you want. Okay, so thank you so much for attending this webinar, and we're so glad that you spare your time with us. And there is a free assessment that we're offering for to evaluate your cloud environment to see if there's any cost savings and opportunity for you. So don't let that opportunity just slip off your hand. Talk to us ASAP. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next webinar. Goodbye.